Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Snotadanti Vam. Mande Om Shri Guru Shri Tamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Ska. Shri Rupam Sagajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Saliputam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakavitam Scha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bando Jaganpate Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Jayatam Surito Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasya Patambo Jo Radha Madana Mohano Dipyat Pindaranya Kopajumada Srimad Ratnagara Singhasana Sto Srimad Radha Shila Govinda Devo Pestalavi Savyamano Smarami Sriman Rasa Visarambi Amsi Bhatta Tatastita Karshan Venu Sanar Gopir Gopinatha Sriyastuna Dr. Kanchan Gorangi Radhe
Ishwari
Vrindavaneshwari
Sute Devi Namami Haripriya Vishwa Sindhu Patitana Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha
Jaya Shri Krishna
Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda
Hare Krishna
Krishna Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Ekala Ishvar Krishna or Sabha Rita. There is one Supreme Personality of Godhead. Everyone else is his servant. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he had a theme in his preaching called The Seer and the Seen. And as our Srila Prabhupada, His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada, would relate many of the teachings and themes he had learned so nicely from his spiritual masters, summarized it this way. Don't try to see God, act in such a way that God wants to see you. This material world is functioning on a backwards or wrong conception. Instead of the pure spirit souls, which we are, acting in their constitutional position to be spontaneously and intensely attracted to satisfy the senses of Krishna. Chaitanya Charitamrita describes that the desire to satisfy one's own senses is kama, or lust, and that is based upon the illusion of identifying one's real self, which is eternal spirit soul, a bhakta of Krishna, with a unique relationship with Krishna as this temporarily designated material body. Rupa Goswami teaches Sarvopadiva Nirmuktam Tatpratena Nirmalam, that real devotional service begins when one is free from identifying with this material body. Prabhupada said it in one place, understanding that one is not the material body is only to be understood by pure devotees of Krishna. Because that type of complete, perfect personalism, personal understanding must and always be in relationship to Krishna. So, Krishna being the one, he expands unlimitedly. Advaitam achyutam anadim ananta rupam. His first expansion is Lord Balaram, Baladev. Srila Narottam Das Thakur, a very important and very great devotee in our line. He is unique in many ways, but he particularly exemplified deep and profound devotion to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, having never personally met them. He appeared the very year that Lord Chaitanya departed the planet. So his feelings in separation, his intense, eager longings to be in the presence of the Lord and his associates facilitated his leaving very profound and deep prayers. Indeed, Srila Prabhupada has recommended his prayers for one to emulate and deeply enter into if one wants to achieve pure devotional service. For example, we chant to the spiritual master. This is Narottam Das Thakur's song, Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma. One-pointed, pure devotional service. So it is understood that the first expansion of Krishna, Baladev, is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead, or he is Adi Guru. You can read in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that particularly in the spiritual world, he takes many different forms to facilitate the Lord's transcendental pleasure. It becomes his bed, his paraphernalia, a sitting place, like that. A pure devotee of Krishna, he doesn't see anything as material because he sees everything as Krishna's energy and therefore utilizable for the pleasure of the Lord. So, Lord Balaram, his concern is to facilitate the service of Krishna. And hence, as the first expansion of Krishna, he is the best knower of what Krishna wants, unlimitedly. That is one reason why he is called Ananta, or unlimited. So, Srila Narottam Das Thakur, he has written one song, Hari Hari Bifale and Janma Gonaino, where he describes that the treasure of divine love, Golokera Premadan, has come into this world in the form of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement of chanting and distributing the holy names. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. And in that song it's described that Krishna and Balaram have come as Lord Chaitanya and as Lord Nityananda. And as we were hearing in Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur's song, that Lord Nityananda is even more merciful than Lord Chaitanya. Srila Prabhupada writes in the purport to the 29th verse of the 3rd chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they know the inner purpose of the Lord. Therefore, they take all types of risks in approaching the fallen conditioned souls to engage them in the acts of Krishna consciousness which are absolutely necessary for the human being. So the topmost devotee is Lord Balaram. Of course, Srimati Radharani is the topmost devotee, but we don't want to get too esoteric describing the relationship in this juncture. But Gaura Leela is described as the Leela of fulfillment, that which was left unfulfilled or not completely satisfied in Krishna's manifest Leela 5,000 years prior was satisfied and fulfilled in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela. One unique aspect which is in relationship to the wounding of Lord Nityananda by Jagai and Madhai. Lord Chaitanya came with the intent on immediately killing the offenders, invoked the Sudarshan Chakra, and Lord Nityananda stopped him, saying that if you kill these two, you'll have to kill everyone in this age of Kali Yuga, because practically the entire population is on the level of Jagai and Madai. So, in the Satya Yuga, the demons and devotees lived on different planets. In the Treta Yuga, they lived in different countries. Like Lord Ram had to go to the country of Lanka to fight Ravana. He had his own country. And in the Dwarka Yuga, we see with the Pandavas and the Kauravas, they lived in the same family. But in the Kali Yuga, the demon and devotee reside in the same body. So, killing the demon in Kali Yuga, Pavitranaya Sadhana.
Jai.
Shri will continue to give their darshan. They're very kind.
As always.
Srila Prabhupada, I'll digress briefly, was touring, and he was in Caracas, Venezuela, then Mexico City, then culminating in the third place, Atlanta, Georgia, March 1975. And all three of those temples had, I believe from the same casting, beautiful brass cornetides, like 3 or 4 feet tall. And, you know, the many leading devotees and sannyasis were there when Prabhupada arrived in the Atlanta temple. And Prabhupada was so much overcome with emotion seeing Gauranitai that he said, they had just chanted, I believe, Parama Karuna by Lochandas Thakur. And Prabhupada said, Lord Chaitanya, but Krishna, he demands, first of all, you surrender. But Lord Chaitanya, he makes no such demand. He gives love of Krishna. And then Prabhupada became choked in ecstasy and started to cry. And he said, take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He's happy. Thank you very much. So, Pavitranaya Sadhanam Vinashaya Traduskatam. Krishna came, you can read in the Krishna book, Krishna is killing the demons in so many different ways. Battle of Salva, the epic battle of Kurukshetra, shooting arrows. But in Kali Yuga, you kill the demons, the demoniac propensity, with love of Godhead. Nam Namakari Bahuda Nija Sharva Shaktis. You have invested all your transcendental potencies in the holy names. The holy names are subsumptive of all of Krishna's energies, as the holy name is Krishna himself. So Lord Nityananda, as the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead, Adi Guru, he is most enthusiastic in distributing the Dharma, and Harinama Eva Kevalam, Kalola Nasteva Gatir Anyata, the only Dharma in Kali Yuga, Harinam Sankirtan. So, Lord Nityananda, we were hearing in Dayalar Gita, he does not consider one's strength, one's birth, one's education, one's wealth. All of these things are temporary material considerations. He goes right to the heart, understanding that every spirit soul is a servant of Krishna, and that their happiness, real happiness, eternal happiness lies in serving Krishna. He would go and knock on the door or burst into the householder's house and roll on the ground, and he would I beg you, please give me the gift of your liberation. So this type of purely selfless attitude, based on 100% concern and compassion for the other, this is non-different than the topmost moods of love exchanged between the Lord and his devotees in Goloka Vrindavan Dham. You can read in the epic 7th chapter of the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Chaitanya in 5 features, the glories of the Panchatattva, that the Lord advents with his Braja devotees, the Nityasiddha devotees from Braja Dham, and to distribute the Sankirtan movement, to taste love of Godhead. So the distribution of love of Godhead, as led by Lord Nityananda, includes within it facilitation to the topmost perfection. Prema Pamartha Mohan. The real necessity of life is to achieve love of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta, and all the acharyas have so much stressed that we focus on this goal, achieving love of Godhead. Nothing is as important as achieving love of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada would say, as a spiritual master would say, give this one life to Krishna. Don't make Krishna wait. Krishna is in our heart as the super soul, and he's always checking us out 24 hours a day. When are we going to turn to him? So the association of devotees, and particularly in this most authorized and most glorious parampara, coming in line from Lord Chaitanya, the 6 Goswamis, Narottam Das Thakur, Srinivasacharya, Vishwanath Chakrabarti Thakur, down to Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, Srila Prabhupada, is topmost. And they know what is in store for us if we give everything. So they're always prodding us. This is Guru Kripa. Prabhupada said himself that my spiritual master pulled me out of material life, forcing him to take sannyas so that he would be able to come to us here and spread the Krishna consciousness movement. So Lord Nityananda is the original source of this desire to please Krishna. So this celebration is very, very wonderful. And another song of Narottam Das Thakur says, those who have not contacted a relationship with Lord Nityananda have uselessly spoiled their human form of life. Unless you achieve the mercy of Lord Nityananda first, it is not possible to get the mercy of Krishna. And as we were speaking about focus on the ultimate goal of life, Prabhupada says in that song, faith in Lord Nityananda, Nityananda Nishta, it's in the standard Vaishnava songbook, that the aim and focus are synonymous. The aim of this Krishna consciousness movement is to enter into the dancing party of Radha and Krishna. And Lord Nityananda is the facilitator of that achievement. So Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda personally inaugurated that Dharma, most unique Dharma, Prema Dharma. The sages wish all good luck to the age of Kali, because simply by performing Harinam Sankirtan in this age of Kali, one can achieve everything and something much, much greater than what was available in previous yugas by performing meditation in the Satya Yuga, becoming a perfect yogi. In Treta Yuga by performing sacrifice, costly sacrifices. and in the Dwapara Yuga by performing deity worship. And the Acharyas have described, out of the 5 main limbs of devotional service, Krishna Katha, Bhagavat Shravana, reading Srimad Bhagavatam and other authorized Vedic literatures, residing in a holy place, like the Holy Dham, or living in a temple, serving Tulsi Devi, and Sadhu Sangha. The 5th performance of Harinam Sankirtan is the topmost and includes everything else. Except for the Vaishnavas and the Vaishnava scriptures, there is nothing else in reality in this world. We should be very, very convinced of that. And we should understand that this is a planet of forgetfulness. Science fiction movie or book, like everybody is in like this weird state of mind. And it's like, beat me up, Scotty, there's no intelligent life down here, or something like that. So that immersion in the true reality of Krishna Sambandha, Krishna Abhideya, and ultimately Krishna Prayojan, knowledge of the relationship with Krishna. And here, like New York City, so many activities, this, that, and where does all this come from? If you see an airplane flying, if you see, say it's a sunny day, and you're walking on the street, and you see the shadow of an airplane, you don't think, wow, that's a nice shadow. You immediately think, there's an airplane up there. So all of this variety is the perverted reflection of the variety of the spiritual world. That is Abhideya Tattva Gyan, of which Shri Radha Govinda are the presiding deities of that knowledge. Shri Radhika Madhavayurapara Madhurya Lila Guna Rupananda, the spiritual master, one who has mastered spirituality. What is spirituality? How to please Krishna. A pure devotee is always eager to hear and chant about those unlimited activities of Radha and Govinda, their qualities, names, and forms. Such a person, such a pure devotee, aspires to relish these at every moment. That is facilitated by the distribution of the holy name of Krishna, just as Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda and their associates demonstrated. So this Krishna consciousness movement is meant to flood this entire planet. Srila Prabhupada, in a tremendously risky position, we will be celebrating, this is the 50th anniversary, 1965, 2015, of Srila Prabhupada's arriving here in the United States. He wrote in his prayers, I emphatically say unto you, O brothers, that you will not achieve the mercy of the Supreme Lord unless and until Srimati Radharani becomes pleased with you. And what is the next transcendental thought? Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur is that great saintly spiritual master who bestows intense devotion to Krishna at various places around the world. By his strong desire, the holy name of Krishna will spread everywhere, from the topmost mountain to the lowest valleys, from the river stream. Everyone will chant the name of Krishna. That is the desire and prediction from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to Nityananda to all the Acharyas, that this planet will be converted from a planet of forgetfulness to a planet of remembrance on the platform of Bhava Bhakti, experiencing the symptoms of love of Godhead. Be thou happy by this sacrifice, because by his performance, everything desired will be bestowed upon you. That just doesn't mean, it's described it as an offense to chant the holy name to, cure a drought or eradicate an epidemic. The result of performing Harinam Sankirtan in Mass is love of Godhead descends on this planet. Now, here is the interesting thing. Krishna is unlimited, and we are limited. How can we, the limited, give pleasure to the unlimited? How can you equate that? If you think about it, it just seems illogical. But part of the quality of the unlimited is that he wants to be conquered by the limited. That is what Srila Prabhupada says when he says, I emphatically say unto you, my brothers, you will not get the mercy of the Supreme Lord. Why should Krishna even look at us? Until and unless Srimati Radharani becomes pleased with you. Prabhupada writes that no matter how fallen I am, if Srimati Radharani appreciates us, we are at once admitted into Krishna's association. So, we have something. And when we link it to Guru Parampara, we become linked to the internal potency, the pleasure-giving potency. Srimati Radharani, that pleasure-giving potency is the compassionate feature of the Lord. Taking part as a servitor of the Ladini potency in distribution of love of Godhead qualifies one to be able to conquer the unlimited. And, as we were saying, of all the limbs of bhakti, Mahaharinam Sankirtan, when many devotees come together, there's nothing more topmost than that. And that is how this material energy of forgetfulness will be diminished, subdued, and eliminated. So we're meant to take the experience that we have from the temples, from our festivals, our time living in the Holy Dham. I lived in Vrindavan for 12 years non-stop, more or less, for example. We're meant to take that out and perform the work that the Acharyas and the spiritual masters, ultimately Lord Nityananda, want us to do. Prabhupada says, Lord Nityananda converted one Jagai and Madai, but one who is true to the service of Lord Nityananda can convert thousands and millions of Jagais and Madais by the grace of Lord Nityananda. We just have faith in the instruction. Prabhupada says in the Bhagavad Gita, as long as one is not, uses a heavy word, envious of the principle that Krishna is the supreme controller, and that everything is Krishna's energy, and everything is under his jurisdiction. If we say, yeah, well, that's good, I think that's nice, and we try, success is there. So we can't do it alone. We need each other to accomplish the topmost anga of devotional service, that is Maha Harinam Sankirtan. So let that be my words for the pleasure of Lord Nityananda. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
Haribo. Jai.